Easter to all of you out there. Don't know what you're doing on this Monday, but we're here. We've arrived. We've arrived on Monday. Yeah. Or is it Monday? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's show you what's going on. So, you remember the Blazer? Got the rocker on. There's the rocker panel, all done. Fitting real good. Looks good. Everything's lined up. Now I'm onto the door. So the customer brought me, oh, let me get stuff out of the way here. The customer brought me the whole inner panel. I think it joins up in here. He brought me this whole piece. But as you can see, I've stripped his piece down to bare metal. His piece is solid. So I can cut out something that's good and make a day's labor off it, or I can just leave it alone. The only thing it needed was one little patch, which you can see right here. So I put our patch in, cleaned it up, threw some primer on, sprayed it with a nice texture spray down in here, and that's it. Now he's brought me also the outer panel. So that's what I'm working on right there. Gotta make sure I move these wires up top. They keep falling down. You never know. Something could happen. But it fits good. You can see how the rocker's fitting right up to the back there. The fender's just loose. You take the fender on and off. I set it back on to make sure that it lined up with the rocker here. So it's not right now, but if I push it in, because it's not, there you go, it lines up fine. Got to do the fender patch too. So that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize you take shit on and off, on and off, on and off. Just like you take the door off. You know, I left the door on, cut the rocker off, left the door on, pulled it to cut the rest of it away, put the door back on to make sure when I set the rocker on it was going to line up, and then you know the story. It's all them hidden hours that customers never see, and that's where their time goes. But anyway, that's what's going on there for me. Mike is making all the inner chunk extensions. You can see where he's welded them. He's making them all, because they would normally come here and then they'd come down. They go onto your quarter panel. So he's making all those. He's getting them all in place. Alright, so he's got all that. Other than that, the chunk pan itself is welded in though. Very nice job. Again, very tedious, very slow. In and out of the car, crawling in and out constantly. Looking good. Looking real good. Now, over here, there's the chunk lid for the Mustang. The Mustang is going for paint this Wednesday. There's the chunk lid. It wasn't sprayed yet. Got that all sprayed up. And then there's a couple things on the Mustang I had to fix. I'll show you here. Didn't even realize it. You know, I put the door things in. You don't think nothing of it till you go to put a handle on so you get in and out of the car. These are like the little extensions or whatever. But anyway, your door handle goes on there as normal. Look at all these teeth. They're just all stripped away. So I had to get new ones of those, and I put those on for the customer because you couldn't put door handles on. And then this fucking thing. This is the passenger side latch mechanism. It decides to brake. It decided it wanted to brake inside, and it locked itself so it couldn't get the door open. Well, what a job that was. Roll the window up, and then it's not that it's so bad, but you're trying to get your hands in there so you can flick it open from the inside. So anyway, I had to replace that too. You just don't know when you're dealing with this old stuff. You don't know. You start taking all this old stuff apart, and it all looks fine and dandy, and the customer's happy, and you clean it up, and it still seems fine and dandy, and you oil it and lube it and do what you're supposed to do. Then you put it in the car, and it works a couple times, and it breaks. And then what do? You got to tell the customer on payday, hey, this broke. So all you can do is keep the parts and show them. Never throw anything away, because you never know. People like to see stuff. So I always keep everything. I show them, and I say, you want it? Take it home. I don't want it. They don't want it. I throw it right in the scrap bin. Always keep everything so people see. Okay. So, and here's the Pontiac. We got the Pontiac. We got our epoxy primer on the back. So we're going to be stripping the roof next. We've started, you can see, but we got all epoxy primer on the back. No bodywork. Still needs bodywork, but had to get the primer on it. Just had to get it done. trunk lid has been primered on the one side. You can see here the black. Now we're gonna give it a coat of primer on the inside here too. Now Sean's in here. He's been working away. He's working on the Scout. He's yeah. Oh, there must be some priming going on here. Oh, look at that. There's the man there. Yeah, this was all smashed in, if you remember here. And we pulled it out, and he's done that. And that's it. Mike had welded a patch down in here. Sean did his magic. Looking good. Good. All right.
Well, I didn't have to do nothing, really. Mike's work was so good.
He did a good job there, didn't he? Yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah, no, ain't so bad. It's gonna look good this time. And then, yeah. Perfect. I'll go look out here. So normally we'd do a bit more. Normally we wouldn't just primer that one piece right now. We wait and make it worth our while and primer like more of the vehicle. But the Scout's kind of in and out. We're doing it in between things, and as you can see, Mother Nature is just never letting up. Like, is that all it does in this province is rain? Holy shit, I'm getting sick of it. Like, it's almost May. It's middle of April here. I don't know what the hell's going on. April showers, right? It just throws you right off with some of the cars around here, and it does that. So that's why he's primering that one side, because we've got to pull the Scout out, and just in case it happens to get wet, at least it's, you know, it's not bare metal showing. But again, I'll say this once, twice, a million times, primer is not the answer. If you've got a vehicle that's bare metal, you've done your body work, and you're going to prime it, and you think that's the answer, you can drive it around in the rain and all the shit and leave it sit in the rain, it's not. It's okay if it gets a little wet here and there. I would never leave anything in primer sit out in rain like for 24 hours or anything like that. A couple hours here and there, yeah, that's good. You know, even that I don't like to do, but that's why we're primering that. Just in case when we're moving it around from bay to bay, if it gets wet, it's not bare metal. So Mustang, oh Mustang, let me be careful here. I don't want to mess with it too much. She is all in. She's all been sanded and blocked and in 600. She's ready for primer. She's ready to rock and roll. Customer brought me some new hood hinges. I put them on. Thank God, because the old hood hinges he had, they wouldn't close. So when you close the hood sat up. So you had to push the hood down. Notorious on a lot of cars, Ford, Chevy. It's just something. And sometimes you buy new ones and it still does it. These ones worked out good. He brought me the center latch piece, so I was able to latch the hood. That's good. The lines stayed where they should stay, which is a good thing. So everything worked out there fine. So she's ready. All I got to do is now, is before it goes for paint, tomorrow I'm going to spend maybe an hour and a half on it. You clean the whole inside out. I still got to put the glove box liner in it. I got to put the ashtray in it. Clean the whole car out, clean her up. Underneath the hood is dusty. You can't help it. You know, we kept it all masked and toweled off though, but it still gets some dust. So I got to clean all that up because I like to clean it before it goes for paint. First off, the tape sticks better if it's clean. And second off, I don't like bringing a car home from paint and having to detail it and clean it under the hood and be leaning over the fenders. I just want to bring the sucker home, leave it sit for a few days and put the chrome on it and then phone the customer and say, get it the hell out. That's the one time that I'm in a panic for my customers to get their car out of here is after they've been painted. Usually what we try and do is we paint on a Wednesday or Thursday night and we leave them sit up over the weekend in the booth so they get to dry up really good. Monday, I'm on that sucker and try and get it together. And I hopefully, you know, usually they're here for a week, sometimes they're here for 2 weeks, but it's the most stressful time of your life because you got a car freshly painted just sitting there. And that's what I'm on the customer. I'm like, when I'm done, get it out. So, my friend Will, he dropped off his little, had his truck towed in. It needs a steering box. I can't remember the year of this thing. I cannot remember the year, but anyway, International. You remember, what was that, what's that show called at the race cars? Now I can't remember. And the one was the tow truck. This is what the tow truck was made out of it, the cartoon show. I can't even remember what the show was called. Believe it or not, I watched it. Anyway, it's got a little 302 Ford in it. But it's got the factory suspension and steering, but the box is just hooped. So if Mother Nature lets up, I'm going to get the box out of the sucker and get it down. I don't rebuild steering boxes, but I got a good guy that does do steering boxes. They're going to take care of it for us and get it all rebuilt. So, yeah, that's about it, guys. That's about it. I'll give a shout out to the guy that does steering boxes for anyone that lives around out this way. There we go. Cancraft Steering, Steve. He's done quite a few boxes for me. They're not the quickest, you know. You're not going to drop it off and get it back in a week. He did my Model A one. Completely went through the whole thing, which is out of a 48 Ford pickup, and I think he had it for 3 or 4 weeks. Wasn't a big deal to me because the car's in a million pieces, so I don't care. So, like I say, I've never taken a steering box there and got it back in a week. It's usually been 3 to 4 weeks. So anyway, there you go. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. Happy Easter. It's always a good time at old time. Hell yeah.